Hello, welcome back everybody. Oh, sorry, my voice is going. Right, let's have a look at Bitcoin then. So we'll focus on Bitcoin, and I'll make another few videos on other coins. So it's basically played out as we expected it to, and it's frustrating in many ways that my channel is really just not that popular, because when it comes to Bitcoin, I am quite often right, to be honest with you, and I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but and to be honest with you, this formation here has been pretty easy to work out which direction it's going. I mean, since this big breakout here, and before then, it's only been going down, and we had this big breakout here, and for a couple of days it looked okay, but since then it has been going down. So in all fairness with you, I think we all knew which way it was going to go. But when we made that video yesterday, what we saw was we did see a rejection from this descending trend. So the first time we came back down beneath it, we were heavily rejected from it. So we knew that this descending trend was going to be playing another point for us. And the only time that we found a support level, a decent support, was at this 8,000. Since we broke down beneath it, so it was going to have to react over these next few days. It couldn't have carried on any longer. But for this to play out the way we said it did, I think even if we do a measure move, I think we were looking for a $600 move from top to bottom from today, and we got a almost an 8% move from top to bottom. That's a big one. So overall, when I placed my short, it was when we came down beneath the 242. I've closed my short now, which is around about. I closed it manually, to be honest with you. I just wanted it out of the position because I do expect us to find a bounce from here. But so yeah, I'm neutral on this at the moment, even though I do expect it to continue to go down. I think in the short term, what we're going to be looking at doing is finding our way to come back up to test definitely 8,000, and at some point this descending trend will be tested and rejected from. So when the first sort of trade that I'll be looking to do now will be a short sell, when probably not so much on the 8,000, but on this descending trend, which could easily be 8,000 in just a few days. So where we're going to go from here, it looks like to me we're going to be wriggling around in this 8,000 tops area for perhaps a few days. Now the last time we came down to this level, which was down here, we did rocket right up. Huge massive move. I don't think we'll be seeing that. I think we're more likely to be seeing a fake out with rejections at this level, and nothing is telling me that we're going to be looking to break this descending trend anytime soon. We're more likely just to be rejected and going down further and further and further. The overall lowest amount that I would expect to see over the coming weeks and months is going to be around about 6,600, maybe 6,000. Yeah, 6,600. I would be very surprised if we go lower than that. So that's only another $1,000 away from where we are right now. So when people think that that's completely crazy to expect that we're going to be going down to 6,600, just remind yourself how far we've come, how far we've fallen, and really it's just $1,000 further down to that 6,600 area. It's really not that far at all, and that is where I expect us to kind of bottom out. However, there is one dark cloud on the horizon, and we don't know how harsh this will play out. But if we do get this death cross here, 6,600 could be, definitely will be an area for a bounce. But if we get the death cross, we could easily be coming down to where we started from. There's no reason why we wouldn't come back down into the fives and maybe even $4,000 bitcoins. And then, of course, what do we do at that point? We just hope that the whole bottom doesn't fall out of this magic internet money business that we've grown to love so much. Now, it's extremely unlikely that we will be seeing something quite so dramatic. But when we see on the daily chart, we have a green 50 exponential moving average, we have a white 200 exponential moving average, and they're getting very, very close to each other on this daily chart. It does look to me like a death cross could form, and that death cross would generally suggest a 35% retracement from the point of where the death cross formed. So let's just say that, we're likely to be bouncing around and coming back up further. So let's just say, that the death cross formed at 8,000, because it could. Will be, that's not 8,000. Oh, yeah, that's 8,000. There. 35% retracement from 8,000 is going to bring us down to 5,171. and that's up there. If we are lower than that, if we, let's just say we're at the price level that we are at right now, we have a 35% retracement from the price action that we are as we speak right now. We will be down to just below 5,000, 4,900. So all of these are definite possibilities. Absolutely no reason to suggest that that wouldn't happen in the event of a death cross, which looks like it wants to happen. So because of that death cross, we are likely to come down further than 6,600. Now, you know, Bitcoin is a strong asset. It's an asset that has the ability to really just turn technical analysis on its arse, because there's so many big whales out there that essentially can manipulate the market just through their sheer power, which is fine. That is trading in general. You know, all markets are manipulated one way or another, because it's just a matter of the flow of money. And if somebody wants to change the pace of Bitcoin, they can change it. And the best place to change it is when everybody's looking to short sell. So if we look at what happened here, so we thought there was an almost certainly, we were basically under the impression before that a death cross was definitely going to happen. We had this flowing nicely down, everything was just plummeting down just as we are doing now. Looks like we wanted to have a death cross, and then suddenly all the way up, smashed right up here and changed the course of that green 50 exponential moving average. But now it looks as though it's on the cards again, so until we get that death cross, I'm not going to be playing any shorts. And like I say, I've sold up now. I'll wait to see how this one plays out. And I'm technically, you know, I'm more interested in catching a decent bounce when it hits the bottom level. I've made enough money now just playing these odds to sit back and wait for the right moment, rather than, let's just say, you know, carrying on with a short that might only give me a $1,000 profit. But you know, there is always that opportunity that we will be going down to the 4,900 area, and if we do go down that far, I'll be more interested in buying it. So at this point now, you know, I'll just wait it out. Let's just see how this one plays out. If this death cross happens, we'll see how much of a reaction it causes, and if we do find ourselves down at 35%, we'll wait for the oscillators, we'll wait for the moving averages to reset, and then we can talk about buying some back. But looking at this chart now, it does look like we are going to get that death cross, unfortunately, for Bitcoin that would be. So it looks like perhaps we can write off the crypto market for, well, I mean, if we get a death cross now, we could write this crypto market off at least definitely for the rest of the year into January, and maybe even longer. So the whole thing will be, you know, it'll be going into hibernation for the winter. We can just leave it alone, unless you're, you know, a trader and you trade every last little move you can find. But for me personally, I like the big trades, I like the big moves, and I've caught as many big moves as I can track right now, and I'm just going to leave it be. Anyway, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more on altcoins, and have a nice evening.